Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the technical panel review for the proposed Oniru Tower development at Water Corporation Road, Victoria Island Extension, EtiOsa local government by Northgate Estate and Property Development Limited. Can we rise as we start? Take the first stanza of the national anthem. 1, 2, 3. For today's technical panel review, we have on the panelist seat the representative of the Honorable Commissioner, Mr. Solomon, the chairman and of the panelists today, Mr. Olaso Komisokimo, and representative of the Lagos State Service, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Mrs. Yusuf Kenge, representative from EtiOsa, the chairman of EtiOsa local government, Mr. Devlpmnt, you're welcome, sir. Representative from Safety Commission, Mr. Tijani, you're welcome, sir. Then structural engineers, Mr. Dari, you're also welcome, sir. So I'll pass the mic to each participant. This is how we'll introduce ourselves, starting from our proponent for today.
Yes, good morning. My name is Matthew Srinabonde. I'm the representative of Northgate Property, Northgate Estate and Property Development Limited.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Engineer Devlpmnt, and I'm representing the consultancy firm Corp Integrated Services Limited.
Good morning, everyone. I am Engineer Daniel Igusi, also the consultant representing the Northgate Property.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Oniru. I'm also representing Corp Integrated Services Limited.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tesla Indolapo from Ministry of Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, my name is Devlpmnt Joyce from Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, Environmental Assessment Department. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ms. Oniru from Ministry of Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lawal Project from Environmental Assessment Department.
My name is Fayed Bisola, Minister of the Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, my name is Ira Bishop from Minister of Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Oshikade Kalukman, the staff of Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Padre from Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources.
My name is Ron Papa, Minister of Environment and Water Resources.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Morita Lakikelomon from Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, Environmental Assessment Department.
Good morning. My name is Jubre Abisola, Minister of the Law and Water Resources. My immediate right here is also a member of the Secretariat. Is Buki Aliola, and on the far right, Mr. Ashiru Folawore.
Good morning, all. My name is Fafuwa Solumani. I will be the master of ceremony MC for today. Oh, yes, and the man behind our camera for today is Oniru Babajide. Thank you, sir. Now we'll start by having our opening remark from the representative of the Honorable Commissioner. Sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, sir. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol and on behalf of the Honorable Commissioner, welcome you and your team to this panel review meeting. Honorable Chairman, you are welcome, sir. Team member of the panel, you are also welcome. The Honorable Commissioner, in his wisdom, has set up this 6-man panel committee to critically look at this report and come up with recommendation that will help the ministry make decision on the project, on the proposed project. And I want to believe that this panel today will leverage on the experience and the experts of the members of this panel to do justice and evaluate this report. And onto the proponent, we also welcome you. We want to thank you for subjecting your project to the process, as that is the best thing to do now for us to have sustainable development in the state. We want you to be assured that this panel is not meant to victimize you. You should see all comments from this panel as comments that will increase the quality of your report, and feel free to ask questions, and I believe at the end of the day, we'll all have cause to pass a report that is sustainable. On this note, I want to welcome everybody and wish us all a successful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Can we now we'll be taking now the chairman's remark. Sir.
The representative of the Honorable Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, my colleague, Mr. Solomon Michel Joseph, distinguished panelists, the proponent and the team of consultants, our colleagues from the ministry, my very agile and able secretariat, good morning. It's a pleasure again to be here to chair another panel review meeting. Let me start by saying that the Honorable Commissioner has already enumerated the purpose of our being here, basically to look at a draft EIA report that has been prepared in respect of a proposed development, to evaluate the report on its merits, looking at its technical adequacies, and then make appropriate recommendation to the Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources for a decision making. And so, like the Honorable Commissioner's rep has said, our assignment is to help the ministry take the best of decisions. And this is important because any wrong decision with respect to the project may affect all of us. And that is the purpose of being here. And so to assure the Honorable Commissioner that this team will do just that, we will do exactly what you're expecting of us. We'll look at the report and we'll do justice to the report as presented. But we also need to assure the proponent that all we are doing here today is to help improve the quality of your report in such a way that you will be proud to have put that report in the public space after this exercise. We hope that we'll have maximum cooperation from everyone, including the proponent, so that we can get done with this in very good time. On this note, I want to say thank you and good morning once again.
Let's clap our hands for that beautiful charge that we've gotten from Mr. Chairman. Now we'll come to the panelists, then the Secretariat to get the project brief from them. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Brief on the project AIA
of the proposed Oniru development at Water Corporation Road, Victoria Island Extension, EtiOsa Local Government of Lagos State by Northgate Estate and Property Development Limited. On the 16th February 2024, Mrs. Northgate Estate and Property Development Limited applied to the Ministry for Environmental Impact Assessment permits in respect of the proposed Oniru development at 18 Alexander Road, Ikoyi Community, EtiOsa Local Government of Lagos State. Following the receipt of the EIA study terms of reference and registration of the proposed project by the proponent, the proposed project site was inspected on Wednesday, 6th March 2024 by officials of the Ministry as part of the initial environmental evaluation of the proposal. The following were observed at the site during the EIA site verification exercise. The proposed project site is located at 18 Alexander Road, Ikoyi Community. The proposed project site falls on the geographical coordinate 6.4239 degree north and 3.4592 degree east. The project is located along Water Corporation Road, off Oniru Road, Victoria Island Extension, occupying 7,098.808 square meters of land. The proposed project area is predominantly a residential land use with several classes of residential abodes adorning the project community's skyline. There was no evidence of archaeological sites within the immediate proposed project site. The proposed project site had commenced as at the time of the inspection exercise and construction workers were seen on site. 3. The EIA studies terms of reference TOR was consequently approved by the Ministry and the proponent was directed via a letter dated 21st March 2024 to proceed with the EIA study covering a one-season data gathering in respect of the project, taking into consideration all key and subcomponents of the proposed project. The Ministry received both the hard and soft copies of the project's draft final EIA report from the proponents on 12 July 2024 for consideration. As part of the consideration of the draft final EIA report, as well as the need to obtain the input of experts and relevant developmental projects approving ministries in Lagos State, the Permanent Secretary on 27 August 2024 constituted a 6-member panel to review, examine the adequacy of the draft final EIA report and make recommendations to the Ministry for an informed decision on the project's EIA, which is holding presently at the LCCI Event Center along Nuruddin Olowopopo Avenue, Alausa, Ikeja. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. At this point, we will be taking a presentation of the proposed project from the proponent. They will have 30 minutes to tell us on the project's technical details, including the engineering and EIA studies.
Okay, panelists who will need to report to the other side to be able to be part of the presentation. Proponent on the schedule, you have 30 minutes. Is that enough for you? So we expect to have first the technical presentation on the project and then followed with the environmental presentation. I said if it's only one person I want to do everything together, you are also free.
Good morning.
I think he wants to do something, so it won't be.
Okay, it's on. Apologies for the small. Okay, we have it back. Good morning once again, Honorable Chairman, representative of the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, other panelists, the secretariats, stakeholders. We want to say thank you. So I'll be doing the presentation on behalf of Northgate Estate and Property Development Corp. Limited, which is the proponent. And this project is basically an housing estate. Its response is it is a private initiative to respond to the housing needs within the state and country by extension. This particular project has 3 blocks, and then the first block consists of 4 floors, 3 floors, 3 suspended floors plus ground floor. The second block consists of 4 suspended floors plus ground floor, and then we have the third block, 9 suspended floors plus ground floor. And basically, this project has gone through the necessary permits at the Lagos State Physical Planning and Urban Development, LAPTA. As we have it, we have the structural drawings around. But let me just quickly go into all the details will come up in this presentation. So the location of the project is at Water Corporation Road off Akiogu Road, Victoria Island Extension, EtiOsa, local government, Lagos, Nigeria. And so under this presentation, we'll be looking at the introduction, the project objectives, technical details, environmental aspects, then mitigation measures and EMP, conclusion, question, and feedback. So about the proponents, Northgate Estate and Property Development, the proposed project proponent is actually a privately owned company, like I said briefly in my introduction. The project site is a block of 3 different apartments for commercial purposes, namely short-let apartments. First wing consists of 4 floors, the second wing 5 floors, while the third wing consists of 10 floors. That is just the detail, and then there are parking spaces for each of the blocks. The ground floor is dedicated as parking space, apart from other designated parking spaces. All right. So, what the idea behind this project is actually to develop a secure high-end residential development with world-class infrastructure. Infrastructure such as that actually are in conformity with the environment and also safety of not only the residents but also the people within the community. Then also the objective, the second objective is to enhance the standard of living, which is basically road, water, power, then ensuring safety and security. In all the designs, safety has been put in place. For instance, there has been provisions for emergency exit, for fire safety, and the structural details, structural integrity. Then also to improve environmental sustainability. This project is incorporating a natural and green environment to provide a soothing landscape. Then customer service, enhancing customer service and satisfaction, providing high quality service to other stakeholders to ensure customer satisfaction. And lastly, on the list of the objective is regulatory compliance. One of the compliance is evidence in the CIA report, which is what has made us to gather here, because the proponent is actually willing and has made a commitment to comply with all relevant local, national, and international regulation and standards. The size of the property is about 7,098.8 square meters, and basically is service apartments to rent for commercial and residential. All right. So driveway, the components of the project includes a driveway, sidewalk, parking lot for vehicles, utilities, water treatment, sewer treatment, stormwater management plan. The project has actually factored all that into consideration. The landscaping also to create a green area, and like I said, a wastewater treatment plant for sewage and other wastewater. Also part of what we are looking, also the component also includes access routes and construction of a perimeter wall. One of the beauty of this project is that this project is actually giving a facelift to the environment. Before, the environment used to be like a shanty and a place that is not environmentally in order. But now with the introduction of this project, there is a lot of transformation going on in that area. So this is the project scope. We are just trying to give a site plan of the analysis. Now we said there are 3 blocks. The first block, the total site area is 7,098 square meters. The first block takes 391 square meters. So the idea is just to go higher so as to reduce more space, reduce the space of built-up area. Then the second block is occupying 670 square meters, while the third block is occupying 452 square meters. Total built-up area is 1,521 square meters. We have the total unbuilt area. So percentage of built-up area is just 21.4%. And then for all these, we are having a total of 61 units. And we have a total number of parking spaces of 124 for residents, and unused spaces also will also be designated. Those ones, the number of parking spaces that we have actually calculated is the one designated in the design, the ground floor. Now the other unused spaces for visitors that will come around, there are also parking spaces which we have not highlighted yet. Okay, the scope, basically these are the basic, the residential development work scope, the preliminaries, which is survey, design, EIA, other permits, LTD. Then we also have the procurement stage, the mobilization construction stage, and then the operation stage and the commissioning stage. All right, so basically because it's being construction, this we will look at the waste management and disposal. Now we know that will always be solid waste, liquid waste, and gaseous waste or emission. We have tried to look at all the waste that is estimated from this project. Demolition waste, we look at concrete, soil, sand, and metals, like rods, other things. Then excavated soil. The demolition waste, the concrete is going to be grinded and is going to be used for, we have tried to look at the waste management plan, the waste management, and also the plan for the waste management is such that the waste does not have any significant negative impact on the environment. For instance, the excavated soil will be reused as backfilling materials for the foundations. The oil and grease from functioning vehicles, because trucks moving in, we know there will be servicing of the vibrator of equipment used. The oil used is going to be contained, collected and serviced and contained in well-sealed containers, and then contracted out to accredited waste oil vendors. Office waste, domestic waste, all the other waste that will be generated at the construction site that is non-hazardous, all this waste will be taken care of by Loma PSP operators. Then the engineering, now because of the project, the proponent has outsourced the project to a contractor, and so the contractor also has responsibilities to follow this waste management and disposal process, which includes solid waste and emission. All right, so in the waste management, we look at the recovery and segregation. Under that, reduce, reuse, and dispose. So for all the waste, we know it's construction waste, but we know that sometimes some of this, when you break a place, you can use to refill another place. And then in all of these, we have also part of the arrangement for waste, which is also safety also, is that the workers are ensured, are actually mandated to use their PPE so that those particles from dust will not have any effect on the water. Now I want to look at the environment and social baseline. Now, based on the study, this study, we have come up with some results or some findings which will serve as a baseline for this study. So part of that is air quality, the noise, the ground and surface water resource, also biodiversity. Because we know that for a project like this, you are actually displacing some organisms, or let me say, the initial occupants, the ecosystem. You are destroying the ecosystem to create another ecosystem. Also, we also want to look at the socio-economic findings, because in the course of this project, we actually talk with people within the community and we got their views. All right, so for this study actually was done, it was a dry season study, but we used an approved EIA to benchmark for the wet season study. And so this is the pictorial representation of the results of the gaseous emission. Basically, we have found out that the gaseous emission, carbon monoxide, we know that carbon monoxide is a gas that comes as a result of incomplete combustion and is also very injurious to human health. And from our baseline study, the highest we had was 0.6, but most of the points where we took samples, we had less than 0.01. But the oxygen, 20.9%. Then the variable organic compounds, we have it around there. Then particulates, which was both SPM, we tried to look at SPM 2.5 and 10 microgram per meter cube, because we know it's a construction site, and based on that, we were able to see that the highest for SPM 2.5 was 25, and the highest for SPM 10 was 32. All these gaseous emissions were still within the Federal Ministry of Environment on ground. So for our dry season, which was the main study, the average noise level was around 66.8 decibel. Then for the comparison, the wet season that we used, the average noise level was 65.1 decibel. Now for our control point, which is already existing community, for all our sampling point, we took a control point. The noise level is 70.1. So between what our baseline, then the comparison of the other comparative data we used and the control, we've seen that there are not much significant difference in that, which shows that the project that is ongoing has not really caused a major permit me to use the word disturbance in the project area. Now for the surface water results, because we know that the environment consists basically of the air, the land or soil, and the water. So we have looked at the gaseous emission. We want to look at the surface water. Now we took both groundwater and surface water sample, but the surface water was just the lagoon around that comes from that leads to Falomo. We have the Victorian evidence of all this sampling. Now the pH basically for dry season now was 8.22. The wet season data of our pH was 5.77. Now both the dry season and wet season were still within the range of 6.5 to 8.5. Then also the temperature was still within range, 31.3 for our dry season, 27.2 for the wet season. Then the total suspended solid 0.53, and basically the electrical conductivity also, all these ranges. Now we saw that between the wet season and the dry season, the data for the wet season was within the acidic range, 5.77, whereas the data for dry season was within the alkaline range of 8.22. That was a major significant difference that we support. Albeit, the wet season also was out of range of 6.5. Okay, then for the groundwater also, both dry season and wet season groundwater was within the alkaline range. But the one was a more strong alkaline. The dry season was 8.35, wet season was 6.6. And the control point, the interesting thing is that the control point was a little bit ahead, was a little bit far from our the pH of the points within the residential building that we are looking at. But apart from that, every other parameters were also similar to the comparative study. Okay, what for the invertebrates, basically we look at the study of both wildlife, organisms around the place, and then the plants. So basically we have more arthropods being close to water area, then Annelida family, the Molussa family, it's 3.7% for Annelida, 3.7% for Moluda, and then the arthropods 92.6%. Okay, for the reptiles, the offices we had more of reptiles, 50% were reptiles, mammals, rats, and then amphibians like frogs, tadpoles, were 12.5% for the area. Okay. Then for the vegetation studies, these are the families of plants that we're able to see. Quite a number of them, both within the site and the control point. All right. Then for the hydrobiology, now we did hydrobiology for the surface water. This is the result. Phytoplankton, we had more bacillary 48%, then chlorophycin was 13%, and then cyanophycin 4%. Okay. Also for the zooplankton, that is just 3 basic family of species. Okay. Then socioeconomics, we looked at the neighboring communities. The people we spoke with, we saw that averagely we have 60% of male and 40% of female within that community. Now, within the district, the age range was 79% of the respondents were within the ages of 18 and 45. 17% were within the range of 46 to 65. Yes. Let me quickly go into the main details. Okay. Also on the socioeconomics, we looked at, we're able to find out the housing types in the EtiOsa local government, and then we saw that the local government actually has more developed or modern day housing, quite a number, and then we have most of the 2-bedroom apartments, we have more 2-bedroom apartments, 6.4%, 3 to 4-bedroom apartment was 30.8%. Okay. Okay. Yes. Let me just go into the other details. Okay, let me go into the mitigation measures. Based on all the findings, the projected associated impacts, these are the mitigation measures that came out of this study. And so, for site preparation and construction, the proponent has been informed to adhere to road transport regulations, public enlightenment, and also currently on site, the contractor has officials that actually monitor based on this, they monitor inflow and outflow to the site so that there is no case of accident. Then proper maintenance during the construction stage. Okay. Now, during excavation, part of the mitigation measures is that the proponent shall construct access roads in dry season to ensure proper compaction of the road and the provision of drainage, the regular maintenance of the equipment. Okay. Now, the environmental management plan for the project. Now, air quality, dust and noise. Then, air emission shall be limited by maintaining regular maintenance of the equipment, the mechanical moving equipment. Then also noise emission shall be limited by using noise abatement equipment. And then lose more where engineering management cannot do that. Then also there is an hazardous material management plan. Then we have also talked about the solid waste earlier, the operational plan, the liquid waste. Okay. All right. So, well, why are we looking at this? Hello. All right, sir. So the main aim of this hearing process is to provide information for decision making to contribute to environmentally sound and sustainable development. Then the proposed project component is committed to compliance with the extant laws, its goals, and then this opinion is supported by this environmental impact assessment report. Basically, we will also go into the details for the structure itself, the drawings will display in a minute, and then just talk about the structural details of the project. Just 2 minutes we want to insert, but if there are any questions so far from this presentation before we put in the structural details of the project.
Are we done? Excellent structure.
Right. I would say that also there are approvals also that has been taken, that has been initiated by the proponent with the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, and we hope that all this, I don't know if there are questions. Maybe if there are questions, we can take it up from there.
Are you done, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let's read the questions. Let's finish your presentation. Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, panelists, let's return to the questions.
Thank you, proponents, for your presentation. Now the floor will be open for comments, observations, and questions on the project presentation. Please, do we have any question online? Sir, do we have any question online?
Yes.
No.
Okay, sir. We'll first take the question online, then we'll take the participant here. Thank you, sir.
Question online. Somebody asked that that place has a lot of estates. While you were just mentioning the name of the people you consulted, the number, you did not mention the estates, who are the residents within that area and consulted during your. That's the question from the online. Thank you.
Can I have the mic? I'm trying to remember the company name now. Northgate. Okay. Please take note of the questions and the comments because you will have a session to respond. So please take note of them. Do we have questions from? Before we go to the secretariat, do we have questions from people from other participants? Okay, secretariat, do you have comments, questions? Oh, you are good to go. No questions? Okay. Finally, let's start with the engineer. Do you have any comments based on what is presented, not the report, based on the presentation you've seen? No?
Okay, good morning everyone. Based on the report that was presented, my major, maybe because of the rush, you didn't really explain the pilot methodology that was used. Then, in relation to your stormwater discharge and your assessment review, in relation to the community, you didn't really tell us about the designs that was done to check how the discharge will be done to the other community that won't lead to flooding in that area. Those are the two major areas. In relation to the pH value, you have said some words in relation to the wet and dry season. What are the modalities that you are going to take in relation to your underground works, that's the foundation work for your structures, that won't affect the cover? I believe you understand what I'm saying, the cover of your concrete in your foundation works. Thank you.
Anyone?
You are free to sit down. You are very heavy panelist.
I think I'll be comfortable standing, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. Yeah, please, I would like the proponent to, you didn't really expatiate on your consultation. They were not on the report. They just mentioned that you met some, you actually stated that the Environmental Service Department of EtiOsa and local government that you consulted them. I want you to maybe the names, the contact of, people that you met, and the community as a whole too. Those people that you consulted, their names, phone number, so that evidences. Do you get it? Then your analysis and the data you presented, I want you to really, tell this sitting the authenticity and the validity of this data. Where did you get them from? The source. We know. You understand? So you need to let us know the body of that report. And the use of PPE, it was not really elaborate on the report. You understand? So these are the things. I have a lot of here, a lot of things to talk about it, but just a little for a while now. Thank you.
Safety. Any issue with the presentation, not the report now? Yeah. Are you good? Okay. Okay.
He has mentioned the issue of PPE that I'm really concerned about for the workers at site. So maybe when we get the details of the report.
Madam Fire. Any issues with the presentation?
I just want to confirm if there is any approval There's been application.
Please write that you need to respond to them later. Safety Commission to Fire Service.
Approval sharing. Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have one or two questions here for you. During your presentation, you did not tell us the area of influence of the EIA study. You did just went straight to the result. You didn't tell us how you collected your samples, no sample location. I was expecting a sampling map. There was nothing like that. You also said you did hydrobiology from surface water. Which water body? And how far is that water body from your area of influence of your EIA study? None of this was mentioned in your presentation. You said you were engaged community. Which community? What is the name of those communities you engaged during your EIA study? None of this was mentioned in your presentation. And I want to ask again, who is the EIA consultant for this EIA study? Is he an accredited consultant with the ministry? I want you to clarify all these questions. Thank you.
Okay. Northgate, please take note of those questions. The ones, once we are done with this session, you have time to brainstorm. If there's anyone you can brainstorm and provide answers for. Let me start with my own comments based on the presentation. I was, though I stepped out to answer a phone call from my officers who are on the field for enforcement. So maybe I missed one or two things, but I was expecting to get some technical details. That's why I thought that you were going to separate the technical presentation from the environmental presentation so that we can have them distinct. This site work is already ongoing. That's already a violation on its own. But I think we have passed that stage. We have dealt with that. Number of piles. How many number of piles went straight into the soil in that place? And what types of piles are there? What types of piles did you drill into the ground? We need to know. How did you manage vibration that comes with pile drilling? How did you manage that vibration? Was there an assessment of the integrity of properties around your site before you went into the piling process? Was there a consultation with those facilities around you? So how did you manage that in the course of the piling? We would like to know. Now, I saw the field data activities. Fantastic presentation with charts. Wonderful presentation. But I was wondering, dry season, what date in dry season? Do we assume that you took this sample in December? We don't know which date. We don't know when you took you did the field study. We have no idea. We don't know which laboratory analyzed these samples to even be sure that the laboratory have the competencies to do the analysis. We don't know the equipment you used. We didn't see them. We didn't know their names. So we don't even know their detection limits. We are not sure whether those results actually, we are angry because we don't have an idea of the equipment. When was the last time these equipments were calibrated? Do we know? We did not know. They didn't tell us, so we don't know their calibration status. So if they are not well calibrated, or if their calibration has expired, they can give us faulty results. So we need to have peace of mind to knowing that you are using the right equipment, their calibration is still valid, and that the laboratory analysis were done in a properly accredited laboratory. We need such information. I know time is short, but these are basic information that are necessary because the people who are listening to you, not all of them have read the EIA report. So the assumption that everybody here, I've read the report, will not help at all. And then my colleague talks about the sampling map. That would have been fantastic to show us how your air quality points spread. Maybe you will have it in the report, or you will have just pull it out and put it on a slide. And if you cannot do that, you will have given us a table showing the parameters you are sampling and their GPS coordinates. That will have probably also given us some suffice if we don't have the map. But the map will have been a better option. Now, I am a bit worried about the transition from acidity to alkalinity based on seasons. I'm worried. I'm worried that your surface water, had a transition from acidity, 5 point something, to alkalinity, 8 point something, and there was no inference drawn. You didn't tell us what could be responsible for a transition in pH from alkalinity to acidity to alkalinity. And I was thinking that there will be more dilution during wet season. So I was not expecting the surface water to be that acidic if there is dilution because rain is falling, except if the surface water is washing anything that contains some level of acidic materials into the water body. So I am expecting that once you find a problem, you should be able to trace to say this is likely why this is happening. And then this is what we think could be done. And this is important because tomorrow people in that area consider it is your project that have made their water acidic. So it is important because we don't just do field study because we want to have data. We are doing field study to have an idea of the baseline condition of that environment. Because the EIA document in your hand is a legal document that can be presented in court. Yesterday I got a call from someone who is asking us, they are in a court right now, and is asking me if we can template and then quickly package the report within 1 week. They want to present it in court. And I said, I don't do such jobs. Or if you didn't do it when you're supposed to start a project and you have a court case, you're now looking for an EIA report to go and present in court. They will now call the consultant, and now the person will not stand in the box and say, you're not pretending stories you don't know about. So these are things that can go into litigation, and anybody who has a science understanding and pick up some of things. What is responsible for this transition? And then don't forget that the alkaline, the data you use for the dry season is not, for the wet season is not your data. So it is risky. You need to do a disclaimer because you did dry season. Abi, you use the data of an approved report that shows wet season. For dry season, you have acidity. For wet season, that person has alkalinity. And then maybe before, and then how many years is the report to each other? 18 months. So maybe you need to put, I don't know, the report's already submitted, you need to be clear that it is possible there have been some activities that will have impacted on that water body. It's stated in the report. Okay, you choose not to give us the presentation. Okay. Oh, well, let's stop here. When we get to the technical session, we'll talk more. Good morning. So, Secretary, any announcement?
If I leave here now.
We left.
It was still connecting there. I know
they use this, so I'm not circulating the.
Good morning, everyone, once again, and welcome to the second session of today's review, panel review. I'll be handing off to the chairman now for our recap. Sir.
Okay, thank you, Secretary. Thank you, MC. We started the opening session with taking the first stanza of the Nigerian national anthem. Thereafter, we had the remarks of the Honorable Commissioner Representative, and then the remark of the panel chairman. That was followed with a brief on the EIA of the proposed project read by the Secretariat. And then we went into the presentation of the draft EIA report and the technical components of the proposed development by the proponent. Thereafter, there was a question, comment, and answer session, after which we went on a 10-minute break and has now resumed for the technical session of the day. On this note, I would like to call on Northgate to respond to some of the comments, observations, then we can move on into technical session. Northgate, are you ready for us?
Yes. Yes, good morning, everyone. I want to stand on the existing protocol. First of all, I would like to attempt in answering some of those questions. I want to start by saying that we have, as a real estate developer, we have gotten some approvals. Majorly, we have building plan approvals. We have also a letter of authorization from LAPCA. That building plan approval was collected from Lagos State Fiscal Planning Permit Authority. We have also a letter of authorization from consent. Then, from the beginning, the inception of the construction there, LAPCA has been coming for the certification of each stage. In essence, what I'm trying to say is that some of the questions that the structural engineer asked, LAPCA has certified most of those questions. Actually, your concern about that. I also called the project manager that are there. I want also that we should understand that the company, actually being a company, we have also a consultant, or a contractor that is working on site. We are just like a partner. We have a project manager that is looking at what the contractor is doing on site. So now we have like a MOU based on that. So we are also supervising what they are doing on site. So now, I would like to say that the project manager said about the vibration, that the vibration is going to be minimal based on the fact that we are not using a precast pipe. What we are using is board pipe. Yes, pipe. Yes.
Yes. So once we understand the methodology, we know it will have effects on the majority.
Okay. No. It's a robot piling. And now the location of the site. We understand that right now the accessibility of that site is the coastal road, the new coastal road that they are doing right now. I'm talking about the community. Oniru Chieftaincy family layout or estate, private estate is also closer to that site. And majorly, the population, the people living around that site, they are high and medium income earners. So in essence, we have done, and recently also the government, we have some squatters that are also living around that site. But recently they send them away from that place based on the construction of the coastal road. Then about the approval of safety and FIRS, we have a department in charge of Lagos State, yes, fire, yes, sir. So we have a department in charge of that, HSC department, health, safety and environment. They are in charge of it. And I know that we have also LOMA permits that we have gotten, because LOMA also enforce those things. So these are what I can just say about some of those questions. Safety Commission.
Yes, you've obtained the permit or you have a permit.
It's like a provisional permit. I think you first of all give a provisional permit, and after the construction, you now issue the final permit. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just to also add to the other questions, let me start from the lab. The results, apologies that it was not stated in the presentation, but the laboratory that was used, we have a certificate of analysis duly stamped with IPAN seal, is actually Large Consult and Scientific Support System Limited. And then the date of analysis, the sampling date was actually 20th March 2024, and then these are the results. And I will say that during the presentation, there was a little inversion. Now, the pH that was 8.67 was actually the wet season pH, which was the study. Because the IE was done in March, the study actually was done in March. So it was a dry season that was acidic, which we were actually looking at that. Possibly there was an accidental.
Apart from accidental, once the volume of the water is reduced, because you are taking the water body is dying, it's possible to have a
So we are displaying the certificate of analysis. So large consult. Large consult is duly accredited by Federal Ministry of Environment and IPAN as well as Sultan. Then we have talked about the piling methodology and also the stormwater discharge unit. Okay, I think well, for the stormwater, there is a layout plan. He mentioned something along that line. There is no water body currently behind the facility because the coastal road is actually passing through that side. Eco-Atlantic embankment is passing through that side. So on the other side, there is no fear of stormwater. However, within the facility itself, the topography has been there. There's a survey design that has done a channeling of all stormwater within that facility to the adjoining drainage, which the study has been done, and we are going to add an addendum, the stormwater management plan, as an appendix to this report. That has been done, and then the outflow of the stormwater is something that can be accommodated without having impact on the existing facilities. All right, so the pictorial evidence also of equipment is also available. Yeah, they will project it right now. The picture with date stamp. We have the date stamp on it. Just telling me want to project. Also talking about the sampling map. The sampling map will also be projected currently, the map of the locations where the samples were taken, as well as the picture of the equipment that was used and the calibration certificate of the equipment.
Engineer,
yes,
you have those information.
Yes,
so please don't let us make progress.
All right. Thank you. Then on the use of PPE.
Let me be sure that the engineer is satisfied with your stormwater issue. Engineer, sir.
No, I'm okay. But the other thing is we still need to see those
Yes.
things that are As I said, it's not, you don't have any effect on.
Yes.
Because what's the distance between your facility and the nearest water?
It's more than 2 kilometers.
And yet you sample it.
Yes.
So they fall within your study area. Let's leave that. Let's go ahead. 2 kilometers away. So, but you must discharge water. Yes. So you need to satisfy that question.
Okay, that's the certificate of analysis from Large Consult being displayed.
I can certify it.
Yes, sir. That's the stamp.
Does that person still have the correct IPAN certificate?
Okay, this is the picture of the data gathering, the equipment. That's this IE, for the IE, the data gathering is coming.
This one is when we came for.
Yeah, for the IE, yes. Okay, this is our own data gathering.
So
you can see our equipment. Yes. The witness the data gathering also. Those are the equipment.
It's good so we can know those who give money to when they came to the site.
Nobody collect. That's groundwater collection. Nobody collected money. They did their job professionally. Okay. I think that has answered that. Then also the consultant name is actually Home Integrated System there and is duly registered with the state and also the Federal Ministry of Environment, also NESRA and other regulatory agencies. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Northgate, for providing some clarifications. We appreciate your comments and remarks. So, Secretariat, I think we are going to the technical session now. We're going to the technical session. And the technical session is basically to allow the panelists make their presentations based on what they have read from the report, not what you have told us here. It will be based on what you have told us in the report. and they are providing their technical expertise just to help improve the quality of the report. So as our usual practice, we'll start with your host local government. EtiOsa.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman, for standing on the existing protocol. Here is the comments of EtiOsa local government on the proposed Oniru Devlpmnt Limited at Water Carrington Road, Victoria Island Extension, EtiOsa local government area of Lagos State by Northgate Estate and Property Development Limited. The EtiOsa local government actually welcomes the decision of the project proponent for considering the local government as the best location for the project. Indeed, the project is going to add more value to the status of the local government. However, the local government has read through the report and found some areas that are of great concern which the proponent needed to work on, and they are as follows. The proponent needs to be clear and explain in simplest form the waste management plan method adopted during and after the project. Secondly, the local government is interested in knowing where the finance for the project will come from. Thirdly, the proponent should explain the benefit the project will bring to the host community in terms of job opportunity or others. Having read through the report, several laws were reviewed and cited. However, the local government frowned at total neglect of not seeing its bylaw as important to the project, especially on the areas of waste management, pest control, and others. Number 5, while the proponent dwelled much extensively on the project, but failed to outline the security measures to be employed during the pre and post construction stage of construction stage for both the workers and materials. The consultation with the relevant authorities to Corp were not captured in the report. For example, Victoria evidences, phone contacts, addresses, names. It's for reference purposes. You are supposed to include them in your report. And also, there are no copies of report of any MOU entered with the host community. You need to see a copy of that to be included in your report. The MOU. You need them. The local government find the action of the proponent extremely embarrassing for not terminating to consult with his authority. Sincerely, you made mention of coming to the environmental department, of which I don't think you did. You only made mention of that. You were not physically there. So I think you should contact.
You respond later.
If you actually had
Contact is not the same thing as writing that you are coming and then you pay them a visit.
You understand? So, and finally, when the local government started the initiative behind the citation of the project within Victoria Island Extension, it is of great concern that the proponent remains silent. This is where the local government loves most. It remains silent on the CSR. The project will bring back to the local government and the host community. Thanks and God bless you.
Mrs. Northgate, CSR. those things, you need to note them. Don't put so much in that side and you will not give back to the environment.
Yes.
So the voice of the local government is loud and clear, and we are helping them to re-echo it.
Thank you very much, sir.
You need to also note that the local government is your host.
Yes.
Consulting them is very important.
On the reports, and then we have brought up some comments that needs to be addressed in that report. But I will read a few of these comments. While my colleagues here will also read some. Then I'm starting now. The title page of the report needs to be marked as a report. What you have here is just an environmental impact assessment of a proposed work. So we don't know this delivery, is it a report or not. So we expect that in the revised report, you will mark it as a report. It can be draft report or final draft report as the case may be, but you need to indicate it as a report. Then again, still on the cover page of the report, we noted that you submitted the report to the Environmental Assessment Department of the Ministry. No, it is wrong. The report was submitted to the expert who is going to advise on the best way to manage such waste. So we didn't see that there. Then again, under the list of the EIA prepared, we noted that the names of members of the study team were written in abbreviation. For this time, we have Mr. Yenu. What does that one mean? So all the names, the member of the study team, their names should be captured in full, not in abbreviation as it was written. Then on the acknowledgement section of the report, we didn't clearly understand how you wrote it, but you need to revise it to really capture that that project is owned and submitted by Northgate, or the Northgate Estate and Property Development Limited. So you need to revise that. Then let's go to chapter 1. Chapter 1 of the report, section 1. Also on page 1 to 13, you review the neighbor acts as part of the regulatory framework for that project. I think the closest river body to that site is Ocean. So we don't have a fresh water line or anyone water line. So we are asking that why the need for neighbor acts.
Because so that water body is not an inland water.
Yes, if you have written and if you have captured the master now, yes, that would have been appropriate. So in this respond that, so anyone has is not referred to this study. Then again, under regulatory framework, page 1 to 1.14, we also noted that we review endangered species. That place is a built environment, it's already built up. So is there any endangered species that needs to be considered? I don't think there are anyone, so you need to respond that to from that place. Then on page 1 to 14, that is biased to us, you refer to us as Ministry of Environment and Sustainability. No, that is wrong. All we have in Lagos State is the Lagos State Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources, so you need to revise that. Then still under the regulatory framework, we noted that a lot of regulations were not crucial and guidelines, particularly those that we have in the Lagos State. Let me read out some of them. Okay, we have National Building Code of 2006, which we expect that you should also capture in that report. Then our own environmental law in the state, Environmental Management and Protection Law of 2017 was not captured. Then we also have a Property Protection Law of 2016, which was not captured. We also have some guidelines of our MDAs, like we have a Lagos State Safety Commission guidelines. We expect that you tell us some of their guidelines, because they're going to engage workers who will be working at a very high level. So we didn't see that. Then we also have a public health law of 2010. So all these laws needs to be captured. Importantly, we also have some relevant law in our Ministry of Physical Planning here. You know, there's a law that relates to, that gave birth to LAFSCA, NTDA, and LASPA. And I thank you that you you made reference of the last part. That law is called Regional and Development Law of 2010. That law actually gave to 3 agencies in the state. So we expect that we will see this law in the report. But we didn't see that. Then on page 1 to 17, table 1.3, you listed some international convention upon which this EIA study was based. But we don't know how relevant they are. You need to explain those laws, not a listing. As you listed them, you need to explain law and tell us how they are relevant to the project. Then on still in chapter 1, section 1.10, title terms of reference, third paragraph, line 2, the EtiOsa was actually approved by Lagos State Ministry of the Environment and Water and not Federal Ministry of the Environment. So you need to take cognizance of that and revise it in your revised report. Still under section, under chapter 1, section 1.2, section 1.12, title objective of the EIA study. The way you position it in that chapter is wrong. It should be positioned at earlier part of that chapter. It should come before it's not consistent with the EIA writing format. When we are discussing social, we have emphasis possibility, but instead of saying social accessibility, you wrote social disability. What do you mean by disability? We don't know. Technical feasibility. We don't understand what technical feasibility is. We don't understand what environmental friendliness. We don't understand what economic viability is. If you are discussing emphasis sustainability, it should be discussed under 4 major areas: social sustainability, technical sustainability, economic sustainability. But what we have here is feasibility, friendliness, and viability. So you need to revise that section so as to conform with the National EIA report writing formats. Then under section, let's go to chapter 3. We went through the chapter 3 and we noted that we need to do a lot of work there. For instance, if you are talking about foundation, we didn't know the type of foundation we're going to have for the building. If you are having piling, how many number of piles do you want to drill? To what depth? What are the dimensions of the pipe? Is it a CFA pipe? So we don't know anything about it. So the report needs to be revised to capture that. Then again, under chapter 3, we expect that you see the dynamic code and standard that you use for the construction activities. We didn't see that there. Then importantly again, the type of waste to be generated and the volume of waste to be generated. We didn't see anything like that in that report. Then the details of construction material, we are going to source your construction material from different areas. How are you going to mobilize them to the site? We didn't have an idea about the construction material we're going to use. So we have a lot of that. Then again, the entire chapter 3 needs to be revised such that you can capture it based on the project implementation phase, the construction phase, operation phase, and the commissioning phases. So still, let me also point out this. The engineer, they also talked a little about the issue of a sewage. We don't know how you are going to manage the waste during the application phase of the project. So we don't have any information concerning sewage treatment plan, whether we're going to have that. If you are going to have what is the capacity, we don't have any information on that. The fire and the emergency response plan, we don't have that information there. So you need to do the needful in your advice.
5 more minutes.
Okay, sir.
Because if I leave you,
yes, sir.
Let us go.
Then, in chapter 4, the entire chapter 4 needs to be revised. A lot has been said by chairman there. So the sampling map you have there is broad. You cannot even identify where you sample this material, in fact, the environmental sample. So needs to revise that. Then to sample water body, you didn't know the type of water body you sample. Is it ocean water or lagoon water? In my earlier stage of my presentation, I said that the closest water to that place is ocean and not lagoon, where we said that the NEMA Act was not relevant. So they didn't tell us that. So they
wait, sir. This guy said NEMA is always coming to that place.
Yes, sir. Said NEMA came recently. They came and they measure actually
they were thinking maybe we fall
They were thinking, but later this one, you're
later
fall.
There is no,
Since you didn't fall,
there's no
don't cite Niwa. You are not close to a lagoon.
You are not in
Niwa does not have power over the ocean. Eh? You have power over the high sea. What have power over that place is the Massa.
Then I said the entire chapter 4 needs to be revised. When you go through your socio-economic section, we noted that you only capture EtiOsa local government as a whole. So the emphasis should be more of Oniru and a section of Victoria Island where that project is over. And then when the rep of the Honorable Commissioner was saying about that they don't have the area of influence. So that is what you have here. So it's not EtiOsa local, we have so many communities under EtiOsa local government, so you cannot survey the entire EtiOsa local government and use it to justify what you have at Oniru Estate. So the focus should be Oniru Estate area and part of the Victoria Island where the project covers. So on chapter 7 of the report, we noted under table 7.1 that Federal Ministry of Environment has a role to play in the monitoring of the environmental media, air quality and so on and so forth. So this was submitted.
Okay, the report was submitted to Lagos State
Ministry of Environment. So it needs to explain all those things. So they are not. It's not relevant there. Then we also noted that there is no grievance redress mechanism in place to address any conflicts that may arise in that project. So this is very, very germane. Because when you are building a project in that place, we are going to move a lot of construction material to that plant. Some people will also ask questions, will raise concern. So how are you going to manage that issue? So you don't have that. Then under chapter 8, that is abandonment, we need to revise it to tell us what and what's to be abandoned and what and what's to be restored. You made mention of equipment, of construction equipment. Yes, that's not part of the decommissioning. Decommission is that you are going to.
That one is demobilization.
Yes, mobilization. We are going to bring down the entire structure and restore the land there to its original state. So then the reference section of the report you need to revise is to capture all the citation used in the report and so on and so forth. Then let me go back to executive summary. You use tables it is not appropriate. The use of table in executive summary of the report is not appropriate. So I'll let this stop here.
Thank you so much, Nigeria. Mr. Mungo, let's start with the engineer. Your comments based on the report now.
I hope the engineer will understand the comment.
Okay, so I'm going to be going to the structural details, actually. So basically, first, in relation to that storm water, I'd like you to take note of this. Your reports that you're going to be giving should be able to tell us what size of drainage system is available in the existing surrounding. You understand? Now, how are you going to be relating it with the storm water that will be coming out of your own vicinity into that place? That's why I was asking if your discharge will not be causing erosion to the adjoining surroundings. That if you have a capacity of, say, 900 feet, and the runoff that is coming in from your own estate is going to be more than the 900 feet, draining into a 900. I believe you understand what I'm saying as an engineer. Now, if you're having say a 1,000 from your estate, draining into a 900. You understand what I'm saying? That means its impact is going to be impending on the adjoining areas around. So that's clear on that. Then in relation to the construction, so I want to ask, what level are you now in your construction works? You are through with your pilot works? Pie cards? Yes. Through with all the pie cards for all the buildings? Okay. Now, the reason why I'm raising this is based on the books that were submitted. In relation to your power, you didn't really specify in one of the drawings, I think that's on PL drawing, you didn't specify the difference between a 600 diameter valve and the 800 diameter valve. Then on the other one, and look, before I move to the other one, on that same one, you didn't really specify the spacing of your valve. So for us to know if the spacing of the valves are according to the design codes that we're supposed to follow, because normally we all know there is a minimum spacing of every valve that they should be between each other to avoid ball point touch. That is one. Then in relation to the other one, the other one too shows the same thing. It shows us the two types of valve, that's the 450 and 600. It shows us the bicarb. It shows us, it's not showing us the valve spacing also. Now, in relation to the bicarb depth, we notice some variance. Now, according to design codes, or let me not just go to the design code yet. According to your drawing, you have a 450 diameter valve that is carrying 800 deep bicarb. Same 450 is carrying, another one is carrying 900, another one is carrying 1000, another one is carrying 1100 for a single type of valve. Now, on the other part, the 600 diameter valve, that one, I think I noticed majorly, almost all of them are at 1100. I won't want to talk too much on design, but we all know that there's a minimum design standard of your bicarb depth cannot be less than, say, 2 times the valve size plus 100. So give or take, if you are using the 800 as for a 450, that's lesser than the design size. And we know, according to our design, share will happen. And once shares happen, when the load starts coming on it, it's an impending danger. And they have finished the pilot. The pilot works. How many number of reinforcements for the pilot reinforcement?
What is that? Okay, you're not an engineer.
Yes, I'm not an engineer.
You are a planner.
Yes, I'm a planner.
Is that why I'm not engineer in this team? I don't want to, I want the engineer to answer.
Now, the reason why I'm asking this question is this. I'm always having the same issues. So, but I'll say this. I saw in the first design, I saw 8x16. I saw in another one, I saw 10y16 or so. So I wanted to know exactly what was done on the site. Are you with me, sir? I'm facing you more because you said you're an engineer. That's why I'm facing you more. Now that is one part, because we need to be so sure on the methodology that was done for the pilot. You have said it's boring. Now, we need to also know, according to your drawing, it's not showing the pilot reinforcement length. You understand? Naturally, most of us as structural engineers, we don't put it. But on the first floor, that is carrying the super structure, because when you have cantilevers, it is the first floor that is doing the work for the super. You understand? It brings it down to the foundation. We all understand all those codes. But those are just the major points that I saw in the drawing. I think that's what.
We just finished structural engineering 446. So if you don't pass this one, you don't graduate. Now, Northgate, please take note. I know this guy want to tell us that LABSCA certified the piling. That's not my story.
Sorry, I don't remember something. Sorry.
Please finish whatever you remember.
Yeah, you have done PIT and PLT on the valves. You have the reports.
We should have. Because yes.
No. Wait, hold on. PIT and PLT. Do you understand the two words that I said now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that report will be needed, and I believe that part will carry some, that report will carry some cases that might not really want to talk about now.
Do we have a commitment to get the PIT and the PLT or whatever the report for you before we make progress? Please, if they bring it to me, I won't understand it. But let them bring it. We'll take it to you who understands. Give me a ignorant. So we need to have that report. Are you getting what I'm saying, sir? I don't want to look at this man's face as you that I'm looking at it. Because this man will tell me lab scan at the 5, testing materials at the 5. I don't want to say some things because we are online. Please, we need to have this report. Is that okay? Please, my brother, from safety, I want the woman to last. Deliberately, you know.
Okay, so my own comments are in the section where you have energy consumption. You've been talking about waste management within the report, and from the section where you have energy consumption, you mentioned that you'll be using about 3 generators to power that facility. So, and that is going to consume a lot of diesel. Just to do a risk assessment report, that is not also stated. So I don't know if you have that in your safety management plan. If you do have a safety management plan, I would like to know if you have a safety management plan, whether you have covered those sections in that safety management plan. No, I'm still just one more, sir. Then, emergency. You didn't state the emergency contact. You said the emergency contact of the police, security. We all know that we are in Lagos State, and Lagos State emergency. Assuming you have a casualty that is more than what you can address. So Lagos State's emergency contact number should also be everywhere around that facility. Thank you.
Can you help them with the emergency contact number if you have that? Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. So, Madam Rescue.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have the mechanical drawing with me, and I saw all the safety equipment, fire safety equipment that you have put there. Like you said, you are still you are still under construction. There are a lot of things that you have specified here that you are going to put in place. So as the construction work is going on, I know you have HSP. That was why I was asking for your commissioner approval if you have brought it from Lagos State, not federal. So as the project is going on, you need to ensure that time to time you are contacting us. We'll be coming for, to come and inspect what you are doing. So that if there is anything to be corrected or anything maybe you are placing where you need to place in another place, they just want to be sure that all these things that you are giving to us in the drawing that you are going to do, you are going to follow them. So it is important that you carry us along. Let us know as the project is progressing. We come to check the things you are doing. Thank you.
Clap for them now. Okay. Take home from fire services that they have examined your M&E and they seem satisfied, but they want to be sure that what is on paper is the same thing as what will be on ground. That you don't write, we don't see a beautiful M&E on paper and then something else. They want to know where your muster point is, where your fire hydrant will be, where your smoke detectors will be. They want to see all of that based on what you have put in the drawings. Please note that. And then the position of the local government is about consultation, which you claim you did, they say you did not. It's about CSR, which is important, which I have helped them to re-echo. They also are interested, they are also frown at the fact that you did an EIA for a project in their local government and you did not deem it fit to cite their bylaws. They frown at that, so that is also very important. The safety man is conscious of you having a safety management plan. They say you have a safety management plan, and we always demand here that every site must have a certified HSC person. We're not talking about small man, you just pull out of your staff and give him reflective to wear. No. It must be a certified HSC person. Preferably a member of the Institute of Safety certified. So it is important so that they can be sure the person knows what he's doing. I hope Northgate is hearing. The engineer have said so many things. I don't want to go on what he has said. So we need to take note of that. Do you have anything to say, sister? Okay, let me just raise one or two things and then we can give you opportunity to respond. And then we can close this session so that we can go into our own closed door session. We need to get out of this place in good time. I observe that the ministry has so much comments, and if I don't stop them. Now, I want you to pay attention to your chapter 4. Pay attention to your chapter 4 and probably your chapter 3. The chapter 3 describes the project. And because this document will become a public document, people need to go through it and be satisfied that you actually describe the project properly. Your construction methodologies should be clearly highlighted. Your source of material should be clearly highlighted. We also normally recommend that you can quantify, at least estimate the quantity of construction materials that you are going to be using. So pay attention to chapter 3 and pay attention to chapter 4. You need to cite clearly for us what is the special boundary of this document. Is a physical development, a 1 kilometer radius from your site will probably be fantastic. And if you are big like a 1 kilometer, you will probably not spend money on analyzing a water body. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. So your spatial boundary needs to be clearly determined. And then please make the corrections in the report. In your data presentation, sometimes you cited FME's standards, fantastic. But don't forget LASEPA standards where they exist. Yeah? Yes. Please put LASEPA standards where they exist, because we also have standards. I will stop there and then allow you to respond if you have anything to respond to, so we can close this technical session. Once again, let me celebrate these panelists for doing a good job. Okay. Where is the end?
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Proponent, are you
standing on the existing protocol, I want to commend the structural engineer for the comments and the observation. But we would want to see your permission if you could help us with some of those locations in the course of the documents that you've seen, so that at those parts that you noticed on the structural details, so that we can easily give better verifications on it.
Are you asking that we send that to you? Don't worry, sir. Don't
Just
worry.
highlight it.
Just highlight. Don't worry yourself. They didn't bring you here. We are the one that brought you here. Anything you are sending, you send it through us.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Except they want to consult you after this. That is allowed.
Every other person who wants to appreciate your comments, and we do take seriously that you are taking enough time to go through this report, and we really appreciate that. All the things that you have highlighted, we assure you that the proponent will do the needful. And then I also want to say that, Mr. Chairman, sir, you mentioned that we should pay attention to the chapter 3 and chapter 4. I believe for me that's a major take-home for us. We will go and redefine the spatial boundary of the project so that we don't have issues that we're having with NEWA. We know basically it's the master that we have to deal with. Also, the use of LACEPA standards. And the Secretariat said that we did not state the environmental management and protection law. I believe we stated it in the report, Lagos State Environmental Management and Protection Law 2017. Possibly there are areas where we're looking for it, we did not see it. In all, we will go through the report. Also, I want to appreciate the Safety Commission for your input on the risk assessment. Currently, there is a safety department, and then safety induction is being done for workers on site. And then the risk assessment also will be documented, and they can always have access to it. So what you stated was risk assessment from the commissioning phase, but there is also a risk assessment for the project construction phase itself. It was an oversight that the LSD emergency contact number was not stated. It's all over, we will document it, 767 and 112. Also to the fire service, I want to strongly apologize to EtiOsa local government. Pardon us, I believe that the communication was not done formally. And going forward, there is going to be a formal communication. Thank you, sir, for your input. And then on the CSR, I'm assuring you that there is a deliberation. Currently, there is a CSR in place that is not formalized. But we have actually spoken, we always encourage that whatever CSR that is not documented cannot be taken. Some people can take it and not report it. So we will ensure that all those ones are documented, and you also have a copy for that. Also for fire, noted, we will always carry you along and to see. I believe every one of us gathered here, we are gathered because we have the interest of the country, we have the interest of the state, and most importantly, the interest of the community at large. And I want to say that the proponent also, on behalf of Northgate Estate and Property Development, is doing everything to make sure that all relevant laws, none of them is flouted, and also to ensure that the host community is not in any way impacted negatively. We will go with all these recommendations and present a final report that will have captured everything. Once again, we want to thank you for your time. Thank you for the diligence, for the efforts. Structural engineer, we want to say thank you for your comments. We actually wanted the structural engineer of the contractor to be around. For one reason or the other, he couldn't be around. So for all those details have been taken notes, and I tell you there's going to be a discussion on it. If needs be, we will revert back to you. Thank you, sir. Fantastic response, but not if need be. You revert back to us. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. I just need to put that very straight. The response is fantastic for us. We look forward to a revised report. We are good to go once we get a revised report. Local government apology taken. Thank you. You still want to say something?
Yes, I just I'm very sorry about this. You mentioned that the community, that people around there are high class and middle class. Please, you still need to engage them. Because a lot of them, when like, let me give you an instance. There's somebody that came to the office yesterday to make a complaint. They still have association, even when they are high class people. Once they have issue, they take it down to the association and they resolve it. So you still need to contact them, because once they want to face you, the association will face you. And once you don't get them involved, community engagement is very essential when it comes to EIA studies.
And it's important to emphasize what he just said, because those high class people know how to do video. And before you know it, so you know, where are you? Go and seal up that site. We just went to seal up another one. We made 12 people arrested 12 people now. They're on their way to task force. That's where they were enjoying this week. So that is the thing, that is the kind of thing that happens when you don't carry along communities and you don't let them know what you are doing. We have sealed several sites for working on Sundays when people are supposed to be resting, for working till late in the night, when people have come from the day's work and they need to sleep. You are cutting iron and they can't sleep. So you can't want to smile to the bank and expect people to be having sleepless nights in their homes. So this is important. Engagement. We normally encourage that it should be sustained consultation. Sustained. As long as the project is ongoing, it should be sustained. Thank you. So on this note, I think we have come to the end of this session. Let me hand over to the Secretariat for announcements.
Thank you, sir. So we'll be going for our closed door session now. Yes, where the reports will be scored according to the panel opinion. So now the consultants and the proponents, we thank you so much. So you can excuse us now, but before we do that, we need to take good pictures. The proponents and panelists need to do that. So after that, we'll now go into the closed session, while our colleagues will move to the front and part of the proceedings.
So once we take the group photograph, Northgate, you are excused to go. I think that they should have a lunch pack.
Yes, yes. The people involved.
You should have a lunch pack as you are going. That's if you have an appetite to eat.
Sir, before we go, one of us will also appreciate everybody.
Okay.
I vote of thanks.
On behalf of the Environmental Assessment Department, we would like to thank the Honorable Representative of the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Environment and Water Resources. Thank you for coming, sir. Panel Chairman, we appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
Rep, the structural engineer, thank you so much for taking our time to come. Rep, Fire Services, thank you. Representative of the Chairman, EtiOsa Local Government, thank you for coming.
the Rep Safety Commission. God bless you, thank you. And our proponents, he said thank you for coming. The Secretariat, thank you for your input. Our colleagues, thank you so much for coming. God bless us all.
Thank you very much.
Please, can we all come to the banner outside as we will take the group picture?
Please remember to send the picture to me. Remember, we are going to see a come. Come and take pictures. Hello. Hello, man. Let's